At the time, Volfost was ruled by magi lords, all of whom were knowledgeable in long-forgotten arts. They crafted incantations to turn the army into strange beasts of all shapes and sizes, doomed forever to inhabit the forests and swamps of the world. The creatures had once been strong, virile men, warriors like her. The creature blinked, the very tip of its tentacle drawing circles in the mud on her shoulder. Far back in his gaze she saw intellect, suffering, an expansive memory stretching back farther than she could fathom. A second tentacle slipped smoothly around her right leg below the knee, and she swallowed. "You weren't always this way, were you?" she said, not really expecting him to be able to reply. Instead, he slid the tentacle up over her knee, curling it around her thigh. "I thought not," she said at his confirmation. In turn, she traced spirals over his warm, moist skin. "We are more similar to each other than we are to anything else." He rumbled deep in his chest. Taran's heart beat harder. "We've been punished for being strong, both of us." He rumbled again. "I am tired of being punished." Now a third tentacle came up in the small space between them. He stroked her long and languidly, from the crease between her breasts down to her pubic bone. The tentacle around her thigh moved higher, so high it tickled her soft folds. Heat flushed through her. Sweat gathered at her hairline. He brought a fourth limb up around her waist, and with that incredible strength, he hoisted her up in his many arms. Taran did not know where to focus, on the tentacle nestled between her thighs, the one now curled around the swell of one breast, or the one stroking her hip. He made a sound that resembled a chuckle far too much to be anything else. Was he toying with her? The thought sent a deep, hot throb through her lower half. She knew she was getting wet. He must have known too, for he groaned and shifted his tentacle to rest along the crease of her cunt. Taran wriggled her hips, grinding herself down onto him, parting her own flesh to slick her juices across his velvety appendage. He groaned again, and one of his remaining free limbs slapped against the ground, hiking up great wads of mud and moss. Taran was more than capable of toying with him, too. "It must be such a long time since you felt a woman," she gasped, luxuriating in his strong arms. She stretched her body and pushed her chest towards him. The creature slithered the tip of the tentacle holding her breast over to her hard nipple and flicked, teasing the erect nub to the blade edge between pleasure and pain. Taran drove her hips down, crushing her wet heat into his lovely, thick, warm tentacle. In that moment, they were both free from judgment, free from chains and barren prison cells, free from spells that turn men into monsters, free from rule and having to prove herself over and over. It was just her and him, two warriors locked in the clutches of battle adrenaline, seeking catharsis in the aftermath. She imagined how incredibly powerful he must have been in man form for him to have transformed into such a great creature as this. He pushed her thighs open wider, and with that, ducked his strange head and buried his sleek, warm face into her folds. Taran moaned long and low as he began to nuzzle and lick her throbbing clit. He sucked hard, drinking in her juices with a hunger she shared, one that she desperately wanted to sate. Tentacles tightened around her body. Perhaps this was indeed what he woke up longing for, the taste of a woman. She was more than keen to oblige the one who had, after all, saved her life a number of times over. As for Rill, Taran planned to take full credit for him. The creature consumed her wetness, lapping it up like nectar while he held her thighs firmly apart. Taran ran her hands over his silky skull, finding bumps and rises and pocks the same as on a person's head. She urged him deeper into her pussy, grinding up to meet him. He moved his tongue like a saber, artfully and with all the passion of a true fighter. Taran had never felt sensations like this, not with any man. Heat spread deep and wild through her like the fire of 1,000 forges, and her legs tensed, her muscles so tightly knotted that she could hardly stand it. And then, suddenly, the tension snapped. She arched her back and rode out her orgasm for what seemed like eternity. Thump-thud, thump-thud. The beat of her release pounded through her, a different kind of battle drum.